Is Gen Z cooked? Yes. Here's 5 reasons your life ain't gonna be smooth. But I'm not just trying to make you depressed. In fact, I have some good advice for how Gen Z can deal with these unique issues that they face. In fact, yeah, your life could be smooth. Smoosh the subscribe button if you want a good life. But don't hit the notification bell because you should turn off all notifications because they're bad for you. Let's go. First reason Gen Z is cooked, the economy. Gen X was the last stable generation in terms of the economy, but honestly, plenty of millennials made it onto the last lifeboat as well. So some millennials are struggling, but not everyone is drowning in the sea of unemployment and poverty, unlike Gen Z. Wealth inequality in the US is on the rise, and it doesn't look like that's gonna change anytime soon. So things are not looking up for Gen Z. Trump's tariff regime is destroying the economy, and his arrests of random people is making nobody want to come to America anymore. Obviously. So, how can Gen Z cope with
economic destitution?
Don't be romantic. This is a time to weaponize practicality. Do what works. Do what you need to do. We're way past pursuing your passions. We've even pushed way past choose a good college major and you'll be just fine. Now look, I'm not saying your interests don't matter, they absolutely do. If you do something you're interested in, you'll outwork everyone who doesn't care about it. And that can make you very successful. I'm also not saying college isn't good. College is a great tool for specific goals. What I am saying is that you need a real plan for your future. If you're 16 or 17 or 18 and you have a solid 5-year plan, you will make it in this economy. You will be fine. But if you can't look beyond your own nose and think long term, yeah, you might be hard-boiled. And with that, reason number 2 Gen Z is cooked, geopolitics. Do y'all remember like 5 years ago when everyone was only worried about climate change burning us all up? So just FYI, it's still doing that. But also after the Ukrainian invasion, everyone started to talk about nukes again. And we haven't really stopped talking about them. There's like 8 different places in the world that could pop off at any minute. Taiwan is high on my worry list, but Iran is always a classic, but Russia's trying to eat more countries, and obviously India and Pakistan still hate each other, and let's not forget about North Korea. If you're in high school right now, good chance you'll live to see one or more of these properly pop off. Here's the bright side. If you live in the US, you do live in a powerful country, so there's a decent chance you'll make it out of that alive. If something pops off, hopefully you'll experience it like millennials experienced 9/11, which is to say, we didn't experience it at all, we just watched it on a screen. But how can Gen Z deal with an Earth that's exploding politically and melting literally? Stay hopeful. It's pretty bad when you have to reach back into Holocaust literature for comfort, but Man's Search for Meaning is really one of the best books ever written. It's written by a Jewish doctor who survived the concentration camps while hundreds of people died around him. He says that what separated survivors from those who succumbed to the death camps was hope. The prisoner who had lost faith in the future, his future was doomed. He also says in the book, life is never made unbearable by circumstances, but only by lack of meaning and purpose. To have meaning and purpose, you need a plan. Watching TikToks all day will make you depressed and anxious and hopeless. Working every day on a legitimate plan to make your life better and to make the world better, that will give you the meaning and purpose that Frankl says you need to survive a world that is trying to kill you. But if everything you do every day is just shoving you deeper and deeper into that spiral of hopelessness and despair, yeah, you just might be souffled. Next up, reason number 3 Gen Z is cooked. ChatGPT was released in 2022, and by the next year, schools were in chaos. You all lived through that. Some schools have handled that well, and some have not, even now, handled that well. As you all know, chatbots like ChatGPT are getting better and better. People are actually using them as therapists because, well, they actually work pretty well as therapists. But that's just language-based AI. AI videos are getting incredible, AI protein folding is getting really good, and inventing new medicines and may just cure all diseases in the next couple years. If there's a thing people can do, from inventing to coaching to teaching to cooking, there's a decent chance that AI will be better than us at that thing. And that's kind of scary. How can you have a job if AI is better at everything? How can you do creative and interesting things if AI has done all of them first? Will AI turn our world into a techno paradise, or just keep making rich people richer and richer? And who's set up to get all of the bad effects of AI shaking up the world? Yeah, sorry.
It's Gen Z.
Is there a way to stay ahead of AI without going insane? Work AI first. Jobs like AI prompt engineer, AI business consultant, AI integration consultant are all popping off. What I recommend to everyone Gen Z, be that AI person. In 5 to 10 years, being an AI person will be like being a reading person, or being a talking person, or being an email person. It'll just be a very basic minimum job requirement for most jobs. So get ahead of the curve. When it comes to school or work, see how far you can get with AI tools before turning back to traditional means to solve your problems. Now, that doesn't mean making everything with AI. Although I'm an AI junkie, this script was written by hand. This video is actually me. Why? Because I want a good finished product. And to make good work, AI tools aren't always the right tool for the job. Not yet anyway. But whatever field you go into, biology or construction or lawn care or anything else, AI can get you further than going it alone. So, lean into AI as a tool in your professional life. But if deeply learning AI feels too new or too scary or too difficult, whatever other excuse you have for being lazy, hey, that's fine. You don't have to lean into AI. Fair warning though, you might in fact be stir-fried. When it comes to Gen Z and their health, I have good news and bad news. The good news is Gen Z is generally aware of the health benefits of clean eating and sleeping, and Gen Z tends to strength train as much as millennials, which is quite a bit. Another huge positive, y'all are drinking less, smoking less, and getting high less than previous generations. All great for your health. The negative, although drinking and smoking is bad for your health, at least it does indicate that you're hanging out with other people, probably, which Gen Z is not. Generation Z is the loneliest generation the world has ever seen, according to Abby Bowler from BYU. Generation Z has higher levels of anxiety, more than any other measured generation, with almost half of Gen Zers feeling anxious always or often, according to a 2023 Gallup survey. So yeah, y'all are cooked. But what can Gen Z do to escape this terrible pit of depression and anxiety? Get healthy. Unfortunately, this one is both complex and takes a lot of hard work. Most people are depressed or anxious for a reason, not for no reason at all. So good news, there's probably a way to escape from your terrible pit of depression and anxiety. The hard part is that the causes vary considerably and are often complex. Here's a short list of things you need to get in order. Number 1, a social life. This is the number 1 thing to get in order for a reason. I often recommend that people treat socializing, especially if they don't have a lot of friends, as a second full-time job. It's important for your happiness, for your mental health, for your physical health, for your opportunities in life. I know talking to people is weird and awkward and scary, but nothing is as scary, to me at least, than being lonely forever. Number 2, fitness. Do cardio and strength train, and talk to people at the gym. 3, diet. Eat your veggies, and talk to people at the grocery store. 4, meditate. This counteracts a lot of the negative effects of chronic smartphone use. You can even join a local temple and talk to the people after you meditate. Number 5, smartphone addiction. If you cut your screen time down by 10% each week, which is really, really hard to do, I know, it will do wonders for your brain. The crazy part is, that's not an exhaustive list. That's just the basics. Like I said, mental health is both complex and difficult. It takes real, hard work every day to get it in order. But again, what's scarier? Pushing past your fears, taking a walk, meeting some of your neighbors, saying hi to people on the street, or being anxious and lonely forever? If walking around and talking to people is the scarier of the two, then yeah, you might be parboiled. And number 5 on your list, transhumanism. Transhumanism is the idea that we can evolve past our physical limits. In some ways, technologies have been bringing us down this path for a long, long time. Physically, tattoos and piercings and body modification surgeries have given us tons of tools to modify our meat suit. Mentally, psychoactive drugs, including a broad range of prescription drugs, along with things like hormone therapies, give us tools to change our brain chemistry in a way that even changes our personality. Pretty wild stuff. Plus, with smartphones, we are already androids. If you had your smartphone taken away forever, you would be a different person. Who you are is a combination of you plus your phone. You are already the modern-day android. But things are getting crazier. Smart glasses give us supervision and super memory. Brain implants are letting the first people plug their brains directly into the matrix. CRISPR-based gene therapies will let you change parts of your actual genome, your DNA. The transhuman movement will only accelerate throughout Gen Z's lifetime. And while there's something fascinating about it all, it's also unnatural. We didn't evolve for a world where your body and mind can be changed on a whim to be just about whatever you want. We didn't evolve for a world where your main social interactions take place through a screen. That doesn't mean this is all bad. It just means that we need some strategies to not be overwhelmed by the chaos. So, what can Gen Z do to deal with the fast-moving techno-transhuman movement? Stay grounded. If advancing technology is wildly unnatural to our fragile human psyches, leaning into the natural can help to counteract all of the psychological chaos that results from technology exploding all around you throughout your entire life. You can literally ground yourself by walking barefoot in the grass. Do that every day if you can. It's actually good for you. Take care of your meat suit. Get strong, stay strong, and get it out in nature where it wants to be. Nurture your community of real people that you can touch. Social media is a very cheap substitute for real, touchable people. Take some time to disconnect from your phone and just be an ape out there with other apes, aping it up. But again, if grass scares you and you're afraid of nature and haven't felt a human touch since you were 5 years old and don't want to do anything about that very unnatural fact, then yes.
You're cooked.
So that's it. Gen Z is gonna have a rougher time than any other generation since like 1945. Even though it's really cool that we're living in the future is a strange place to be and an even stranger place to have your brain develop in. So hold on, touch some grass, make some friends, hold on to them, and make a solid plan for your life. For some help on that, I've developed a 4-part system to show you exactly how to proceed in life if you are in high school now. It takes about 10 hours to complete, which is a tiny amount of time compared to thinking about your entire life. Pick it up at the link in the description, money back guarantee. Cause look, if you're cooked anyway, you may as well get pressure cooked into something delicious. I've been Joel, and you've been beautiful. 再见.